everyone. So this is the first session of food safety and quality assurance, and the topic which we'll be covering today is sampling specifications in food industry. So talking about the sampling introduction, what comes into our mind when we talk about sampling or a sample? Sampling involves the selection of a certain portion or a number of container and product units from a particular lot of the same food. Samples are usually connected from a lot of food for random surveillance, collection of data for a specific purpose, or monitoring and to determine the conformity or to product standard specifications in the regulation. The FSO or the food safety officer may collect samples from any place where any article of food is manufactured or stored for sale or stored for the manufacture of any other article of food by authorized officer or sale or exposed or exhibited for sale or where any adulterant is manufactured or kept. Three activities in analysis include collection of representative sample, sample preparation, analysis using proper methods and instrumentation. The figure represents a sample is taken, sampling is done, the sample is stabilized, sample is prepared as per the requirement, then the qualitative and quantitative analysis takes place, then data acquisition and reduction takes place, and then the data is interpreted for information decision making. The sampling plan. The following factors should be considered by formulating a sampling plan, that is a type of food product, the size of food articles to be sampled, the degree of hazard to human health, the hazards can be chemical, physical or biological, the potential for fraud, the acceptance and rejection criteria. The acceptance and rejection criteria is based on the following 4 points, that is adulteration, tolerance limit, compositional standards, net content. Sample tools and containers. Sample collected from bulk packages or unpackaged food sold in retail must be placed in suitable containers for storage and handling to be presented for laboratory analysis. Sampling tools. The tools available to FSO, that is Food Safety Officer, range from common tools for general purposes to special tools to be used in specific situations and for specific examinations of particular food products. Common tools such as pliers, spoons, screwdriver, knife are used for opening containers, cutting bags of food product. Sample containers. In general, for liquid, the food safety officer should use clean, dry container for appropriate waterproof and leak-proof material, including glass, stainless metal and suitable plastic material which can be sterilized by heat if necessary. The containers must have a secure closure of rubber or plastic stoppers or a screw cap of metal or plastic coated with an insoluble non-absorbent. For solids or semi-solids, clean, dry, wide-mouthed cylindrical receptacles of suitable waterproof material should be used. For butter, suitable wide-mouthed jars should be used. The butter must not be allowed to come into contact with paper or any other water or fat-absorbing substance. Sample collection techniques. The food safety or the authorized officer must obtain the following information, that is the name of the food, lot number, container size or sizes, product code numbers, labeling information, condition of the lot, that is if it has broken packages, evidence of rodents or insect infestation or debris. Quantity of food samples to be collected for analysis. According to Food Safety and Standards Association of India, this table represents the article of food and the appropriate quantity to be supplied. So whenever we take different samples of different products, we have to refer the FSSAI manual as per how much quantity of the food samples is to be collected for analysis. Okay, so that is shown in the following tables, such as milk is collected 500 ml, then infant foods is 500 ml, then carbonated water is 600 ml, natural mineral water or packaged water is 4000 ml, that is 4 liter, then instant tea or instant coffee powder, that is 100 grams. Packaging and sealing the samples. In order to maintain integrity, packages containing exhibits should be secured or sealed to prove their authenticity, that is to ensure that they could have not been tampered. The stopper shall first be securely fastened so as to prevent leakage of the contents in transit. The bottle, the jar or other container shall then be completely wrapped in fairly strong thick paper. The ends of the paper shall be neatly folded in and affixed by means of gum or other packing, and sealing of the samples shall be neatly folded in and affixed by means of gum or other adhesives. A paper slip of the size that goes round completely from the bottom to the top of the container, bearing the signature of the designated officer and the code number of the sample, shall be pasted on the wrapper. The signature or thumb impression of the person from whom the sample has been taken shall be affixed in such a manner that the paper slip and the wrapper both carry a part of the signature or the thumb impression. The outer covering of the packet shall also be marked with the code number of the sample. Dispatch of the sample. All samples packed for dispatch must be secured with shock absorbing materials to protect them from damage in the route. Samples of frozen fruit shall to be sent overnight may be packed in insulated cartons containing dry ice that will last for the length of time. If special precautions in handling or storing samples are needed, the food safety officer or the authorized officer should ensure that person who will be handling the samples are involved. Recommendations for sampling and analysis. When defining the sampling procedure, one should consider the purpose of sample, the laboratory analysis through which samples will undergo, and the characteristic of the ingredients and finished products. The objectives and sampling purposes to be achieved should be clear when developing the sample procedures to be adopted. Sampling should be done in a well-defined area in order to avoid difficulties in the executing of procedures, reduce the risk of contamination and cross-contamination, enable a proper execution of laboratory analysis, and include all necessary safety and health precautions to the sampler and environment. Personnel responsible for the sampling activity should be trained on the applicable procedures. All tools and auxiliary materials should be inert and in a clean condition before and after their use. Portions of the material that are non-homogeneous should be sampled separately and should not make a composite, as it can mask quality problems. With few exceptions, all incoming ingredients should be sampled upon arrival and inspected for identity, physical purity, and compared with a reference sample and standard specifications. International methods of sampling should be used to ensure that valid sampling procedures are applied when feed is being tested for compliance to a particular standard or objective. A sampling procedure should stipulate the conditions based on which a lot should be inspected and classified. Accuracy, precision, specificity, sensitivity, dependability, and practicality should be considered when choosing the most appropriate method. Laboratories operating under a recognized quality standard should seek independent approval of their quality assurance arrangements, preferably by accreditation, which will allow them to demonstrate competency and reliability. That's all for this session. Thank you.